If you're watching this video looking for scientific times, unfortunately you've come to the wrong place. We're just three guys with three very fast cars looking to have a good time. And that's exactly what we're going to do.
So as we know, the world has gone crazy when it comes to hot hatches. A few years ago you used to get hot hatches. Now you've got what people call super hatches and hyper hatches and all different types of cars that make ridiculous power. Today we've got some interesting cars with us. We've got the Audi RS3, we've got the Mercedes A45, and we've got the underdog, the BMW M135. What do you guys think is going to win, boys?
It's on this one. That's my personal opinion. Look, that's strong.
Very strong.
That's very, very strong. My only thing is that it's just out of, call it cylinders, 6, 5, 4.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that being said though, the A45 does do a 0 to 100 time of 4.2 seconds.
And it's got the most power. The most kilowatts here with 280.
That must be said.
270.
280 kilowatts. This is literally
True.
the daddy. It's the fastest hatch you can actually get on paper.
Yeah.
But that's also the second fastest, 270 kilowatts.
But we all know it's all about how you put that power down.
Yes.
So, and that's
Yes.
where I think this is going to shock us a little bit. I know in terms of takeoff, these two with their four-wheel drives are going to be quite something, but we'll have to wait and see.
And
that I think is going to give us a good run for its money.
I think when we do our rolling drag, I think standing still, these are for dead. But when we start in gear and we do our rolling drag, this thing is going to surprise. It's going to surprise a lot.
Because that's the thing, we forget. It's 4.2 seconds 0 to 100 because, like you mentioned, this car's a four-wheel drive. This is a rear-wheel drive car. But we also forget there's an old saying that says there's no replacement for displacement. So we're not going to talk too much, but let's actually find out what happens.
Cool.
So first and foremost, we got the BMW M135. Now, as we mentioned, this car is the underdog. It's got the least amount of power, but at the same time, we're confident enough to think that this car can run with the best of these. This is a car that not a lot of people speak about. When people speak about the fastest hatches, they often speak about the RS3, the A45, even the Civic Type R. But many people forget that there's a 240 kilowatt Bavarian monster that we've got here. So I'm interested to find out what's going to happen in the drag race and what's going to happen in the rolling start race at the same time. We're not going to spend a lot of time speaking about the interior of the car, the boot space, because quite honestly, guys who are buying these kind of cars don't care about such things. So let's talk about the big thing, power.
So our second vehicle is the Mercedes A45 AMG. Now this is the facelift version. So it's another 15 kilowatts up on power, 280, and it's got 475 Newton meters of torque. Now when I first drove this vehicle, I wasn't too impressed. I've got one of these vehicles as a daily drive in the UK, and that felt a bit more meaty, it felt a bit more reckless. But that could be a fuel issue. In South Africa we run 95 on most of our cars, but in the UK we're running 98. So that, I feel, affected this car quite a little bit. But we're going to see how it does in the drag later on and see how it performs.
And last but not least, we've got the RS3. Now, having a little bit of experience being older than the other two boys, this is where I think it's going to get interesting. Now we've got a 2.5 engine, and people from the 80s will know from the 500 SE. But this is also turbocharged, 270 kilowatts, 465 Newton meters of torque. Now, I understand what Sam and Cisco talk about in terms of torque and power, but I think this is where the sugar is going to lie. So let's see what happens, take it out in the drag, but I also think even rolling start, that M135 has work cut out for itself. Let's see what happens.
Okay, so I might not have the power that the A45 has, but at least I've got a 6-cylinder engine. I've got a lot riding on you, old girl. Come on, don't let me down. I know you don't have a 4-wheel drive, but let's see. Come on, let's do it for the people.
Okay, so here we are, A45, BMW M135 next to us. We've got a lot more power, like another 40 kilowatts of power more than this guy, but I'm thinking this top end, it might catch us, so let's see what happens. I'm using motion control 4-wheel drive, hopefully I'll get off the line better. Let's see what happens.
No! Oh, the A45 is just too quick.
Woohoo! Bye bye BMW! Okay, so we're going to do a rolling start now. My feeling is this is great off the line, but I think the M135 will get us on a rolling start. We're going to do from 30 Ks, gear 1.
rolling start, M135 wins.
One more time. I thought it was going to change, and it hit the line. It killed it.
Even though the M135 beat the A45 twice on a rolling start, Sam insisted on a third run. The A45 eventually won, but let's be honest, the M135 had the last laugh. Now let's see if the BMW M135 can keep up with the ballistic launch control of the Audi RS3. And again, the BMW lost. Clearly, rear-wheel drive is not going to cut it here. Okay, enough faffing around now. Let's see the race that we all came here to watch. The Mercedes-Benz A45 versus the Audi RS3.
Can you move closer?
Okay.
I want to smell you when I beat you.
Okay. Oh. We'll see about that. Oh, I'm being humbled. Oh, I'm being humbled. No, no. It took it. It took it. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I did not expect that. I honestly did not expect that. I thought I've got more meat than him. I thought, no, that can't be, man. I want a rematch. I want a rematch. Oh, oh no, Audi. Okay, I'm ready. You see, that's another thing. It's so easy. Put into sport or manual and it just goes. See, look how complicated that is. The big boy. No, they're not the same. I won that one.
Okay, I'm gonna admit it. I lost. I lost against the A45. I lost against the RS3. Yes, I said probably the M135 was gonna do well, it would run with them, but these cars have launch control. And obviously on launch control, these cars are going to obliterate me. In gear was a bit of a different scenario.
Yeah.
I could kind of stick up with you guys in gear.
Yeah. Look, the thing is, it's the fact of the matter is that it's two 800,000 rand cars against one 600,000.
That's what I was going to say.
And it's for me, as much as this car's won me over, it's kind of my personality, because I've been saying that on the camera. That's kind of you.
Yes.
It's loud. It's got the hair, so the spoiler's you. This is a bit of a hooligan, you know. It's tail happy. So that's just going. This is me. But this it's low key. It's not as what you could. It's a married man who still wants to have fun.
The biggest fight though.
This thing today.
These
This thing impressed me so much. So I slated it off at the start of the video. I said it upset me. Well, it's made me really happy. Exactly. I think that we put 95 fuel in it, and it ran wild. And it killed this, and it kept up with that.
At the same time, you won one round, you won one round.
I won three. You talking about 1 3?
You won three. We had two technical errors in the last time. Two technical errors.
Someone technical error, one person bombed.
You should try drag racing and flying a drone at the same time.
Exactly.
We'll see who wins.
The thing is, out of the two clean runs that we had, the RS3 won one round, the A45 won one round. Between the two cars, they're very closely matched when it comes to price. They're 10 kilowatts shy of themselves. At the end of the day, we would say they're both the winner. But in all honesty though,
in terms of price, you guys have to give it to me.
True.
No, that's true. No, that's true. You have to give it to me.
And I also think, personally, if this was a longer straight, yeah, I think it might catch up top end.
That would have clawed
200, I think it would have clawed back.
Yeah.
But
So-
it comes to the question is, these two cars are the same speed, they're both handle great, they're beautiful cars, but it's a personality thing.
Yeah.
Do you want the quiet and reserved S3, RS3, you can be slow and steady when you need to, or do you want this thing which is in your face and it's loud all the time?
Yeah.
That's what I want.
To be honest with you, I honestly think I'll go for the RS3. That would be the car that I choose between the two. But if I wanted to save myself some money, I'll get myself the M135. So what we can do is that we can call these, they're both the kings. We'll say that they're kings. Even though there's normally one king, these are both the kings. Hold on, let me see the tire quickly of this. Cheers guys. Well there you go, bye-bye. It's been fun.